Hello. Welcome to my channel, please like and subscribe. Kaede Honjou begins playing the virtual reality MMORPG New World Online at the suggestion of her friend Risa Shiramine. To avoid getting hurt, Kaede creates Maple, a shield-wielding avatar, and devotes all of her skill points to defense. Despite her slow movement speed and weak attack, she has a strong defense that allows her to gain new skills and skill points for defense only by allowing opponents to attack her. After meeting Kuromu the Shielder and is the craftsman, Maple decides to enter a dungeon to battle the fearsome poison dragon. Using potions given to her by Kuromu, Maple manages to withstand the dragon's poisonous attacks long enough to develop a complete immunity to poison, allowing her to defeat the dragon by eating it. As a result, she not only gains the poison dragon's abilities but also a one-of-a-kind set of equipment. Maple decides to take part in a battle royale event, managing to easily defeat everyone who comes to attack her and winning third place. The next day, Risa joins the game as Sally, a swashbuckler specializing in evasion, and the two go to a cave to fish for materials for a new shield. After Sally discovers an underwater cave behind a locked door, the two begin visiting the cave every day so that Sally can explore it and improve her underwater skills, allowing her to defeat the boss and earn her own set of equipment. While at a cafe, Maple and Sally hear about the next event from players Dread and Drag, who tell them about a quest in the forest. Finding a basement in an abandoned house, the girls find a man tied up in a chair and heal him to the afterlife, earning a super speed skill. The next day, Maple and Sally travel to level 2 to face a deer boss, which Sally defeats after Maple is knocked out. Following that, Maple receives the snow-white shield she requested from Iz before Sally transports her to a special area where they share a star-filled meal. The second event, a treasure hunt based on the party, will soon begin. When the event starts, Maple and Sally discover a hidden dungeon with its own boss, allowing them to earn their first few medals. On their way to the mountains, the two come across Kuromu's party, who allows them to pass through a warp. Going after them, Maple and Sally face off against Silverwing, a powerful ice bird boss whose overly powerful moves begin to overwhelm Maple's defenses. Pushing their abilities to the limit, Maple and Sally eventually defeat Silverwing with little health remaining. Along with more medals and crafting materials, the girls discover a pair of monster eggs, which hatch into turtle and fox companions named Syrup and Oboro. Later, the girls arrive at a desert oasis, where they are tested. As Maple tries to catch up with Sally and Kasumi as they fight, they all fall into an underground dungeon, where they are bound together by a cursed chain that will kill them all if even one of them dies. Working together to avoid some unbeatable snail monsters, the three clear the dungeon and free themselves from their chains, sharing the spoils of their victory between them. Later on in the event, Maple and Sally meet a player named Kaede, who gives them a hint that leads them to an underwater squid boss, which Maple defeats by poisoning the sea. Maple uses the skills she earned to transform Syrup into a mobile fortress after Sally earns the remaining medals required through PvP kills before the event's end. Managing to earn the right to purchase a guild house, Maple and Sally find a house in the forest and form a new guild named Maple Tree, recruiting Kasumi, Kaede, Kuromu, and Iz as members. Needing more members for an upcoming guild event, Maple recruits two beginner players, Yui and Mei, who both maxed out their strength stats. With Maple's help in clearing a dungeon super fast, Mei and Yui gain new skills letting them dual-wield double-handed weapons and boost their damage. Later, Kaede gains an upgrade to his staff while Kuromu clears a hidden dungeon and earns a new set of equipment. Maple soon comes across a set of quests involving helping an NPC mother cure her daughter. As a result, she gains the Loving Sacrifice skill allowing her to share her defense with her guild members, ordering a new set of armor from Iz to match it. Meanwhile, the other guilds decide to keep their eye on Maple Tree during an upcoming event. As the guild takes part in the third event, in which they must obtain bells from cow enemies, Maple encounters a boss in the church she visited before. Gaining new skills that let her transform into a giant monster, Maple leads her guild into level 3. After hearing about the area's machine lord from an NPC, Maple gets lost and winds up in the Graveyard of Dreams, where she encounters yet another boss. Before the boss goes berserk, it gives Maple the machine god skill, allowing her to defeat it. In the run-up to the guild event, Sally notices Frederica of the Order of the Holy Sword Guild scouting them and challenges her to a duel. After Sally manages to evade all of her magic attacks, Frederica surrenders and tells her about the Flame Emperor's Guild, unaware that the skills Sally used against her were fake. Sally uses her stealth and cunning to gain a few orbs, having a brief brush-in with the Holy Sword's dread before managing to steal an orb from the Flame Emperors. With several orbs under their control, Maple Tree takes advantage of Maple's defense to defend its base from all attackers. Sally and Kaede go hunting for more orbs while Kuromu and the others prepare an ambush on any attackers, leaving Maple with Mei and Yui to defend the base. Sally soon finds herself surrounded by Frederica's forces, prompting Maple to leave the base to come to her aid and allowing Dread to attack the base. Although Dread manages to deal Mei and Yui their first defeat, Maple manages to stop him before he steals any orbs. As Sally gets some rest, Maple, Mei, and Yui launch an attack on the Flame Emperors, breaking through all of their traps before eventually coming up against me, Marcus, and Misery. Mei and her team use a barrage of attacks to try and push Maple out of attack range, giving me enough time to trap Maple in a prison of flame that deals continuous damage. This prompts Maple to bring out her machine god form, which manages to defeat Misery and Marcus, while Mei uses a self-destruct in a failed attempt to take Maple out. With most of the other guilds already eliminated, Maple Tree is confronted by the main members of Holy Sword, Pain, Dread, Frederica, and Drag. Maple, who has been reduced to near zero health, employs a risky countermove to deal Pain's damage back at him. Pain survives the attack, forcing Maple to use her atrocity form to defeat him and the rest of Holy Sword. With all of their trump cards exposed, Maple uses her atrocity form to assist her team in eliminating other guilds in order to prevent the larger guilds from gaining more orbs, assisting the Flame Emperors in achieving that goal and prompting other guilds to do the same. As the event comes to a close and Maple Tree is in third place, the admins decide to leave her alone because she has drawn many new players into the game and many will try to be the first to beat her. Maple invites both the Holy Sword and the Flame Emperors to join everyone for a celebration and to watch the event's highlights.